I don't have the exact numbers memorized, but I remember the last time I looked at it, it was like that. Should we take another call?
Sure.
All right, let's see here. I'm gonna click this, and let's see if this works. And if it works, we should be talking to Rachel from Louisiana. Is this Rachel?
Hi, yeah.
Hey, how's it going?
It's going. How are you guys doing today?
Great. How are you?
Living the dream. Living the dream. So what's going on down
I
in
can see that.
what's going on down in Louisiana?
Well, I'm in northern Louisiana, so East Texas pretty
Oh,
much.
okay. Fair
Um,
enough.
Texas.
I'm sorry.
No, it's fine.
No, I actually I did that
Crack
wrong.
me
Here,
up.
here's where I'll do the joke right. Tell me again. Where were you living again?
I live in Louisiana,
I'm sorry.
northern Louisiana.
Oh no, I heard you. I'm sorry.
Ah.
That's the joke.
Oh,
Ba-dum-bum.
yeah.
I'm
I
messing
gotcha.
Okay. No, I'm sure it's great. So what's on your mind? What's going on?
I actually have I guess 2 questions I'd want to
Let's
ask.
do it.
First one, I have a friend who's interested in working
Asking
as a
for a
graphic
friend.
designer.
Got it.
Well, I am asking for a friend, and I'm going to ask a question for myself.
Okay, cool. Let's do this.
I have a friend who she wants to work as a graphic designer, for a company like Gearbox, and we both tried to do research and stuff like that on what exactly graphic design for a game company would be like beyond advertising and stuff like that, because she wants to start building a portfolio to sell herself as a graphic designer for video games, and she doesn't quite know where to go from there.
Yep. So, what I think the question I'd start with is what does graphic design mean to your friend? Like, what kind of art is your friend into? What does your friend want to make? Is your friend into compositing images and putting together layouts? Like, what does graphic design mean to your friend? There's so many different specializations in video game development that where some of the skills that you traditionally associate with a graphic designer can absolutely apply to game development. But there's also some things that aren't quite that. So I'd start with where the passion is. Where's the passion? Because I've discovered that what people like to do, they tend to do a lot of, and people tend to get good at things they do a lot of. And so, and that's the key, is just getting good. We are always interested in people that are better than we are. So if your friend can do anything at all that she's seen in any of our games and can do it better than we can do it, we will absolutely want her on our team. Now, that said, there's all kinds of cool applications for things like graphic design beyond just building advertising. Obviously, there is a lot of comms about our games, so there are straight up advertisements, but there's also a lot of work on the web and work on first party stores and all kinds of things like that. And there's all kinds of, we kind of call that, all of that kind of work together, I tend to call it creative services, where you have creative people that know their way around a bunch of different art programs that can cut everything from, or composite everything from still images to sometimes even video pieces that are useful for communicating about different things, and there's specialization there. But there's also a lot of that work that goes into the games themselves. We've got we're in a world now where UI is increasingly designed, and both from a functional point of view, but from compositional and artistic point of view. There's a lot of style that goes into a user interface now, from a head-up display to menus. And some of that work is technical, but a lot of the layout work, a lot of the kind of prototypical work, the sort of proof of concept work is non-technical, and we do it all in 2D, and you know, sometimes we've had people that lay out UI in PowerPoint. I'm not kidding, just to show like, hey, what would this look like? We can see it pretty fast. And then there's like a motion graphics aspect to it as well. So if people know how to make things move around and animate things with whatever tool gets the job done, to visualize it. And then once we visualize something and we can start to to agree on all the elements that need to go into it and how those elements interplay, then it gets really fast actually to code it all up. The thing that takes so much time in game development isn't the typing. There's, if we had all of our programmers just nonstop typing, we'd be done with the game in a couple of months. The difficulty is in the iteration. It's in discovering what needs to be typed, and a lot of that can be discovered in layout form. And does not necessarily have to be engineered fully in order to realize close enough to the vision. And graphic artists and graphic designers can be really valuable in that process. And I think that's increasingly becoming true. I think user interface is becoming more and more valuable in AAA games on Xbox and PlayStation. Obviously, you can already see examples in mobile where the entire value of the product is in basically user interface and head-up display kind of work, graphic design kind of work. There's a lot more typically a lot more to a AAA video game on Xbox or PlayStation, but more and more we care about those elements, whether we're talking about menus or head-up displays or other supplementary stuff that functions with the game. We have a series called Brothers in Arms. And it's an historically accurate game. We care about authenticity a lot, and one of the components in the game is basically a living interactive encyclopedia that connects the video game experience to the real world history. And a lot of the presentation of that is basically graphic design work, and there's enough work there that can employ multiple people for a while. so that's one thing, and that's where it goes like the deepest. But even in games like Borderlands, there's a lot of stuff. And frankly, like there was a cool part of Battleborn, which is all about the lore and the character lore and stuff. And I thought it was pretty good. I imagine that could even be better if we had more graphic design people that could invest themselves wholly in creating the presentation for that kind of experience. So there's a whole lot of stuff there. Did that help at all, or?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, it helps a lot. I guess, what would, I guess you're saying, like, if you want to